Imagine you're planning a long road trip. The tank is full, your playlist is ready, and the open road is calling. But suddenly, a sign appears. Bridge closed ahead. You slam on the brakes and find yourself stuck. That's what a recession feels like in the economy. Everything seems to be moving forward smoothly, and then, out of nowhere, progress slows or even stops. But what exactly is a recession? How does it happen? And most importantly, how can you prepare for it? These are the questions we'll answer today, step by step, so that by the end of this video, you'll not only understand recessions, but also know how to weather them. Let's dive in. When we talk about a recession, it's like talking about a cold that the economy catches. It's not fatal, but it's disruptive, uncomfortable, and often unavoidable. Economists define a recession as a significant decline in economic activity that lasts for an extended period, typically 2 consecutive quarters of declining GDP. But this technical definition doesn't capture the full picture. A recession affects businesses, governments, and individuals in deeply personal ways, reshaping lives and opportunities. To really grasp what's happening during a recession, we need to zoom out and understand the bigger picture. Core content. The first question is, why do recessions happen? Let's consider the economy as a living organism. When everything is in balance, the economy grows. Businesses thrive, people spend money, and investments flow. But just like any organism, the economy can face challenges. Sometimes it's a natural slowdown after a period of rapid growth, what economists call the business cycle. Other times, it's triggered by external shocks, like the housing market collapse in 2008 or the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. For example, think about the Great Recession of 2008. It all started with the housing market. Banks gave out loans to people who couldn't afford them, assuming housing prices would keep rising. When those prices fell, millions of people defaulted on their loans, causing banks to lose money and the financial system to freeze up. Companies laid off workers, consumer spending plummeted, and the economy entered a tailspin. Recessions often follow this domino effect. One sector struggles, and the impact ripples outward. Another example is the COVID-19 recession. Entire industries, like travel and hospitality, shut down almost overnight. Governments had to step in with massive stimulus packages to keep economies afloat. These examples show that recessions can have very different causes, but the result is always the same: less spending, fewer jobs, and slower economic growth. So, how do we know when a recession is coming? Economists don't rely on crystal balls. They look at data. Rising unemployment is often a red flag. If companies start laying off workers to cut costs, it's usually a sign that demand for their products or services is falling. Similarly, decreased consumer spending can indicate trouble ahead. When people stop buying cars, dining out, or taking vacations, businesses earn less, and the cycle worsens. Stock market declines are another signal. If investors lose confidence in the economy, they pull back, leading to falling stock prices. Finally, reduced business investment is a clear warning sign. Companies delaying projects or expansions usually reflect uncertainty about the future. Together, these indicators act like early warning systems, giving us clues about what's coming. But here's the good news. Recessions, like storms, eventually pass. And while we can't stop them, we can prepare for them. One of the best ways to prepare is by building an emergency fund. Imagine losing your job during a recession. Having 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved up can be a financial lifesaver. It's like carrying an umbrella when you know rain is in the forecast. Diversifying your income is another smart move. Don't rely on just one source of income. Freelancing, side hustles, or even passive income streams can provide stability during uncertain times. Cutting unnecessary expenses is equally important. Review your budget, cancel unused subscriptions, and prioritize needs over wants. Think of it as tightening your ship before sailing into rough waters. Investing wisely is another way to prepare. Recessions often create buying opportunities in the stock market, but only if you're financially secure. For instance, during the COVID-19 pandemic, savvy investors bought stocks at rock-bottom prices and saw significant returns as the market recovered. Preparation isn't just about money, it's about having a plan. Governments also play a critical role in managing recessions. They use tools like stimulus packages, which are direct payments to individuals or businesses to boost spending. During the 2008 financial crisis, the U.S. government introduced the Troubled Asset Relief Program to stabilize banks. More recently, during the COVID-19 pandemic, stimulus checks were sent directly to millions of Americans. Monetary policy is another tool. Central banks, like the Federal Reserve, lower interest rates to encourage borrowing and investing. Infrastructure spending is also common. Governments invest in large projects to create jobs and stimulate growth. These measures don't eliminate recessions, but help soften the blow and pave the way for recovery. So, what have we learned? Recessions are challenging, but they're also part of the natural economic cycle. They're caused by a mix of factors, from market imbalances to external shocks. But with preparation, individuals and governments can navigate through them. Building an emergency fund, diversifying income, and understanding the warning signs are steps everyone can take to weather the storm. Governments, too, have their role to play, using tools like stimulus packages and monetary policy to stabilize the economy. But here's the thing. Recessions are closely tied to another concept that affects governments and individuals alike: debt and deficits. Want to understand how they influence recessions and economic policy? We will explain it in our next video. It's a simple yet powerful guide to a topic that shapes our financial world. And if you missed our previous video on how taxes work, don't worry. It's just a click away. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video as we continue exploring the fascinating world of economics.